In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Caster Labs Caffeinated, an all-in-one solution that combines your chat, your events, alerts, and all that stuff from all these different platforms into one unified. We want to set up and include events from all those different platforms to work in this one ecosystem. So basically just a little
Hi guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel, and I'm doing something a little different today. So as you guys know, there's very many ways to do multi-streaming. As you guys know, there's many ways to do it. So the first method I'm going to show you guys is obviously, I've showed this multi-stream plugin in the past on Stream Elements. But I'm going to show you like the many ways to do multi-streaming. So of course you got this one, which is your main encoder. You know, you got Twitch as the main output, you know, because that's what I have as the main output. I got my YouTube, which I do vertical streams, as you can see my you know, vertical scene over here. You know, when I switch scenes, you'll see the different ones. We got, anyways, we'll try adding it again. All right, let's try adding. This is from Caster Labs. They're pretty well. It's not free. It I'm going to show you on. All right, so basic. So this, so you guys can, you know, check them out, see what works.
Was I muted that whole time? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it really matters that much. I'm not muted now. If we get that shiny, it'll be an actual good clip instead of me having to kung fu flick, dub over my own mouth, and be like, I am excited. Oh, no, no. Probably not the best. Oh, here it comes! Woo! Not shiny. Oh. Come on, game. You know you want to give me that shiny Rotom. Look out the front. You ain't got to lie. that menu noise is emulating the original games, but it annoys me. I ordered an HDMI to USB-C cable so that I could bypass the dock, because I'm going to be traveling and I didn't want to pack the dock with me, with my Switch. And, turns out it didn't work, even though I'm pretty sure AI told me it would work. So now I gotta return it to Amazon. Maybe I'll look into getting like a little mini dock or something, I don't know. Need something I can travel with. Vacation. I could probably just pack the dock in my luggage with a deal. To have it all together in my nice little travel case. In the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal. I'm starting to get kind of hungry. I might have an early dinner this week. Not sure why I hesitated to read that there. Not a big deal. When I was looking at my Rumble stream, it looked weird and zoomed in for some. I guess I don't really care that much. The TV. Give me that shine. When I was I was looking up something about doing this hunt, and then the AI said some people reported that it took them thousands of attempts before they got the shine. Others got it relatively quickly. I'm like, yeah, it's called shiny hunting. Sometimes they get it quick, sometimes they get it slowly. Thanks. I never would have known that. Kind of epic music. It's like. Dump it. I feel like this hunt is gonna take a really long time. I hope that's not the case, but not super optimistic. Whew. I don't know if I have the patience to see this one through. At least right now. Just give it to me relatively quickly, Dan. So that I may move on with a hunt that is less annoying in a game that is better. Stomping the TV. Give me a shiny. Dude, this takes way too long to load. My brain fully deactivates while it's reloading. Gotten one from Thump and a TV before, but we did it in Platinum. Just painfully dull. I already had a cup of coffee. Now the game's just gotta give starting result. So then I quite so bored. Tired. Bored and tired. And tired and bored. Come on, game. You know you wanna. A matter. Might be a matter of a really long. Oh, I just heard something weird. Weirded out a little bit. I was supposed to have a ultra rare Rotom card show up today, but the post office does this thing where they'll just mark it as delivered when it's not really, and then deliver it like 3-4 days later. And they do that because they like have to freaking maintain good delivery times and stuff. So if they can't get it to you at the time that they're supposed to, they'll just say that they did and then deliver it when they get around to it. And I'm like, scumbags, man. Just freaking stop using our tax dollars if we can't freaking be legit. Quit cooking the books. The music's pretty epic. When the shiny actually comes, it's gonna be like, oh, shiny! Be pretty soon. But until then, gonna be boring. We're getting there despite my doziness. But yeah, I think I'm gonna pop to the grill at my apartment, cook up a couple burgers, rubbing. Maybe crawl in bed a little early. Dude, I had ordered a t-shirt. It was from the official Pokemon Center from this eBay store where they have a ton of legit Pokemon stuff, and turns out they were out of stock of it, and I was so disappointed because it was brand new with tags on it and everything, and I was gonna put it in a frame and hang it on the wall. And the only other Rotom t-shirt I can find is from Japan, and it just kind of looks like absolute cheeks. This one had Rotom coming out of the TV and stuff. It wasn't like the best artwork ever, but I liked it. I'm thoroughly disappointed because the only ones of that I see on the internet now are like used and faded. I feel like this is almost certainly going to be a short stream because I'm kind of hungry and tired and ugly, you know? The problem. Some of those things can be fixed. Some I unfortunately cannot. Rotom, do. Pretty sure it's level 15. I gotta check. Therapy. According to Therapy, it'll have Charge, Confuse Ray, Thundershock, and Double Team. Which really provides no trouble for me at all. Quite a bit of pee-pee. Beep beep. Beep beep to not worry about it running out of. Beep beep. I don't have a fastball to try to catch it down anyways. It's whatever does. For some reason that one wasn't shiny. Yes? What's up, gay on the low? Secret safe with me? Welcome to the stream. I want you to bring the luck for this shiny to appear, because this game is not my favorite. If you could bring the shiny luck so we can get this, and I can move on to a better game, I'd appreciate it. I mean, champions can be pretty fun. You're reminding me I need to do my my daily recruitment to see if I can get a shiny recruit. I always do my free one because I would like a shiny recruit. And I'm good. I haven't really gotten into champions myself. I'm not much of a battler, I'm more of a shiny hunter. But once I found out that you can get shinies through the recruitment, I will check at least once a day for the free one. Seems like a good game, though. Will one of them be shiny? Let's check. Oh, dang! I think that was it. It had like the weird bubbles. Is that not it? What do the bubbles mean? I've never seen the bubbles before. That's not a shiny, I don't think. What do the bubbles mean? Never seen that before. And I gotta turn the music down on this thing. It's so loud. What are the bubbles? Is that what is that the thing? Is that what
There's
it
a
looks like?
complete guide to getting shiny Pokemon in Pokemon
No,
Champions.
that wasn't the
And
animation
There's a
I
complete
saw.
guide to getting
I
shiny
saw
Pokemon
like
in
a
Pokemon.
bubbly type thing. What does that mean? If you see bubbles without the sparkles, it means it has a hidden ability or a special title / mark. Oh, well, that's kind of cool. So from what I read, it says that either it has a hidden ability or a special mark. Let's see, can we check moves? No. Well, how the heck? Okay, what's the special? So I don't even know how you tell if they have a mark. Oh wait, there it is. Okay, it's the sociable. We got a Torkoal the sociable. Okay, that's what it is. So the Torkoal has a sociable mark. Oh wait, and there's two of them. Meganium has the peckish. Well, that's probably not it, right? Would I get two different ones with it? Let me look at this guy. Dang it, I want to know what this means. Okay, here's the recruit animations. Alright, so this will tell me.
Here are the different recruit effects you can see in Pokemon Champions.
So loud, hang on.
Get it.
Okay, so here's the different ones. There's shiny, a rare ball, a mark, or normal.
Being
Let's
lucky
take
with
a look
recruitment
here.
will sometimes have special effects.
Which one did I get? Okay, so I got bubbles, so that means it's in a rare ball. Okay, so And then there's a separate one for marks too. What is that one? Hang on.
Seeing shaking grass will give you Pokemon with marks.
Oh.
While glowing grass gives you a shiny Pokemon.
Glowing grass is for shiny.
And you'll find one with a rare ball if you see the bubble effect.
Okay, so I got both. I got doubled up on that one. I got a rare ball and I got a mark. So what's the rare ball? Oh, a friend ball. Okay. So this one's got a friend ball. And then 2 different ones with marks. Interesting. Don't really care that much about that. Not gonna like pay anything to get them. So I'd rather have a cool mark, I guess. Do the peckish, but I'm just still gonna just do the trial for it. Yeah, peckish is a hungry mark. So when you throw it out, it says the peckish, and it's the lunchtime mark is what it's called. The lunchtime mark. But yeah, it means hungry. Alright, well, that was thoroughly disappointing because I thought that meant something, and it did, but nothing that I care about because I am a shiny snob. But hey, now I know what the different ones are and what they mean. So there we go. I should have shown that video on stream so you'd know too as well. Gay on the low. But I'll just describe it. It has like beams of light coming out of it if it's shiny, and little stars coming out of it. Bubbles around it if there's one in a special ball, so you can look to see if it has like a friend ball or whatever. And then just extra grass flying out if it has a mark, which is kind of hard to tell, really. It's whatever. So I'll still do my once a day. Eventually, I'll get a shiny because that's how odds work. But yeah, I think you should play champions if you're not a shiny hunter. And if you are a shiny hunter, you should always do shiny hunting instead. Just kidding. But no, it is cool to take shinies into champions. Flex on people with cool rare balls and marks and all that. That being said, I only transferred in one shiny Rotom because I have a bunch of them. Because I'm not sure you can transfer them back. I haven't looked into it, but it would make me sad if I couldn't get it back into its original game. That's why I always am a little bit reluctant to transfer it in to a different game. There's a chance I can't get it back to its original game. You're not in a gaming mood, but you also are. That makes a lot of sense. Why would you have deleted your data for it? You just needed some space on your Switch or something? I'm guessing you didn't have anything super valuable on there. I don't play Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl all that often. I played through it, did a little bit of radar hunting, and then was like... The radar hunting disappointed me because they took radar and they made it worse. Like what I liked about it from Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, they made it worse. They made the chains break much more easily at lower levels and stuff, much more randomly. It just, I don't know, it's not as fun. That's why everyone does the 17 method on it now, or at least last I heard they were doing the 17 method. Because it's not worth going all the way up to max odds if there's like a really good chance you're just gonna lose your chain. Well, fair enough. That is enough. The same plot as Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. The only thing they did is they just kind of put everything in there without you having to do events and all that stuff. It's just all in there. Well, there you go. Then it's not sullied for you. I was disappointed with the game because I was really expecting it to be in the style of Sword and Shield is like one of my favorite games, even though a lot of people were super hating on it. But I thought it'd be so sick if you took the Gen 4 map and gave it like overworld shinies and made like the Great Marsh into a wild zone with overworld shinies, and it would just been super sick. And if you put like Dynamax in it and Max Dens and all that stuff, that's what I was expecting, and I was quite looking forward to it. And then they just super copped out and just did the chibi one-for-one copy. I think the only thing they did that's notable is a couple changes to, like I said, putting the events in there without you having to actually do the events. They changed radar hunting for the worse. Didn't include the shiny charm, which I thought was weird. It's like, shiny charm's been in every game, why not put it in this game? Just have it be a reward for completing the dex like every other game. Why just not have it at all? That's strange. I guess maybe because of how it would have interacted with radar hunting, but just make it not affect radar hunts or something. Problem solved. But yeah, they made the radar hunts worse, and yeah. Oh, they did change the underground, which I thought was kind of fun. They made the underground a little bit better with with like having zones down there that you can find shinies in, and having the little Diglett game to increase your shiny odds. That was alright. I think putting the statues in your room was kind of dumb, but it was fine for what it was. I hadn't actually played Gen 4 all that much before then. I think I basically just like shiny hunted a little bit in it. But the radar hunting in original Gen 4 games is much better. But if you don't have if you don't have something to compare it to, then it's fine. Oh yeah, one other thing is apparently they made, what's her name, Cynthia? They made her a lot harder. I am in fact a dad, yes. Very true. Haven't been cracking any jokes, so I'm not sure how my cover was blown. But I do that as well. When the mood suits me. But yeah, I do recommend BDSP. It's just kind of a bummer, though, that you killed your save file. One thing that is better is the Gen 3 games, from my understanding, or Gen 4, I mean. The Gen 4 games, from my understanding, one of the things people really didn't like about them is how slow that they played, and I guess they fixed that in Platinum. But they were like really historically slow games to get through, so they did speed that up. Like, I guess one of the jokes is how, like, if you did like a Oko, a one-hit KO, it took forever for the bar. It took forever for the bar to fully go down. So like, even if you were going through the game just one-shotting everything, it still just took a painfully long time from what people did. What do you mean with Blissey? What are you talking about? Oh. Okoing with Blissey? I mean, I guess it's a dad-style hat, sure. I mostly wear hats because I'm a bald dad. I've been losing hair for quite a while, and I just keep it shaved and keep it covered. But yeah, I'm sure they fixed that to make the game go a little bit faster. But yeah, it's a bummer, though, that you've deleted the file, because you'll have to do the whole playthrough. But perhaps that's what you like about it. For me, the playthrough is just something I get through to get to the point of the game where I want to shiny hunt or whatever. Or to unlock the radar or whatever it is I'm going for. I wish I still cared about the stories of the games, but The last game I think I cared about the story was Final Fantasy VII, and that's because it didn't give you an option to skip anything. You had to play every cutscene through. You could speed up the text, but that's the most of it, and you had to watch all the cutscenes. So basically, you had no choice but to get immersed in it, unless you just wanted to ignore all the text, and then you'd find yourself getting lost because you don't know what's going on and what you're supposed to be doing next. So you kind of have to pay attention, unless you're just following a guide, which you can do that too. But then you're still having to read the guide, so you might as well read the dialogue. Yeah, I think once they started allowing you to like skip cutscenes and everything, you would. It's up to you basically whether you care what's going on or not. And the magic is lost. Yeah, might as well chomp your teeth into it. Have fun with it. They're good games only from the fact that they are based off of good games. Outside of that, there's not a whole lot redeeming about them. But I knew I told myself I was gonna catch Rotom, or not catch Rotom, shiny hunt Rotom in every game that he's available in. And since this is a remake of the game that introduced him, and it has the original way that you encountered him through smacking the TV, I was like, alright, we gotta get it. Gotta smack this TV several thousand times. Until one with a different color comes out. It is what it is. Yeah, I think it's a good game. I would play through it. I'm actually playing through a copy of Pearl that I did the Cute Charm glitch on. And I'm playing back through it. Mostly trying to get far enough so I can go into the cave that has Gibble. Get one of those. But it's fun, though, because I took the time to do RNG manipulation to get the Cute Charm glitch. So now I can just get any shiny that I want within, like, a couple minutes. And, of course, it doesn't mean a whole lot. You know, they're not as rare, but still cool. I just have tons of shinies exploiting a glitch. It's a little fun. I mean, I took the time to get the glitch, so I'm gonna do it. And that was back when the game was still like $20 or whatever. I think it might still be pretty cheap. The difference between Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum it's crazy to me. I think Platinum's up to like $100, but Diamond and Pearl you can still get for like $25, $30 because they're just so inferior to Platinum, unfortunately. But they put most of the Platinum stuff into EDSP, so it worked out. Man, I was snoozing before you came in the chat. This is not the most engaging hunt. And I know this is probably going to take me 14 eternities just because it's full on. And also the resets are not the quickest. But yeah, now I'm actually staying awake. This isn't as bad as tree shakes. I do tree shake hunts and sword and shield, and man, that makes me fall asleep. It makes me feel like I have narcolepsy. Because it's just so dull shaking a tree. But there's some really cool stuff you can get out of trees. And tree shake hunts and sword and shield are just really cool because they have a very unique way that they function. Because you can get shinies out of them, but the shinies have the sparkle type that the game was supposed to have, which is primarily Star Sparkle with a 1 in 16 chance of Square Sparkle, and you can get marks. So it's like the only place in the game where technically wild hunts function the way that they're supposed to in terms of the sparkle types and everything. Anywhere else that you do wild hunts outside of like scripted hunts, then they're always square sparkle, have almost like a very, very insanely minute amount for it to be star sparkle. And that's just because of coding errors, which I find fascinating. That's why I really want a genuine wild star shiny, because it's like a 1 in 6 million chance with the shiny charm. And that would be insane. And if it were specifically a Rotom, that would also be insane. And if it were also to be recluse marked, that would be impossible. But it'd be cool. Impossible things happen sometimes. So I would take it. That just makes me want to go back to Shield. Game sucks. Did you ever play through Shield? Sword and Shield were my favorite of the Switch games. Actually, they're my favorite of the Pokemon games, but that's because they got me back into the series. Outside of that, I'd probably say actually that Heart Gold Soul Silver would be the best, because they're just very masterful remakes of the original games that got me into Pokemon. Yeah. I think Sword and Shield's legit, and you can still go back and you can get a lot of fun, a lot of entertainment out of Dynamax Adventures. Those are still a lot of fun. You can always go back to those, and it's still fun to jump on with friends and do Dynamax Adventures. So, that game has a lot of staying power with the DLCs. Yeah, Hop is super annoying, but the thing I liked about Hop is that you get to kick his ass up throughout the game and make him cry and make him disappointed. And then the thing I didn't like about Hop the most is I was like, really, that legendary just decides to go along with Hop? It's like, yeah, sure. I want to join this loser. Get out of here. Most unbelievable plot. But dude, they ruined a lot of the rivals. I mean, they essentially gave him like 675 rivals throughout the game, because if you count like Beatty and Marley and basically everybody and their mom was his rival. But as soon as they started making his rival not pick the one that had the type advantage to you, like as soon as they started making your rival not pick the one that had the type advantage against you, it was like, alright dude, these guys are pushed. If they're legitimately going to pick the one that's easiest for you to beat, that's where the game is fully embracing its like kid difficulty. But I mean, it's never been a difficult game. That's why people do things like Nuzlocke to make things more difficult for themselves. Yeah, Team Yell's pretty corny too. The thing I liked about Team Yell is that they really weren't even an evil team. They were just goofy. They were just goofballs. You didn't have to take them too serious. And they weren't even the bad guys of the story. The bad guys of the story was that, like, dude with the comb over that was trying to get the Dynamax Pokemons to like destroy the world or whatever the heck was going on. Like I said, I only half pay attention to the plots, but I played through the game so many times I was like, yeah, this guy is a douche. Pretty clearly. But yeah, Team Yell was just a bunch of goofballs. Not a serious team. Evil team at all. But they also stopped having the evil teams be all that serious. One thing I found interesting was when you played through, I think it was Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, in those games, they had like a post-game plot where you played against all the different former evil teams. You defeated all of them. Kind of crazy. Who? You're talking about the guy with the comb over, the bad guy? I hope that's not who you're talking about. That guy was a scumbag. But I mean, to each their own. Alright, well. Everybody's got a type. I'd say Leon's probably cooler. He's kind of a little bit too, like, can't think of the word for it. Full of himself? But he's pretty cool. He's like the antithesis of Hop. Wasn't that dude short, though? You know who were the really dumb ones? The two brothers, the one with the sword hair and the shield hair? Those guys were dumb as heck. Pokemon always does some goofy stuff. But the main reason why I like Sword and Shield so much is the different sparkle types, the marks, all the different kind of cool levels of rarity that they added in for shiny hunting that if you really dig deep, got a lot of depth to it. The disappointing thing is how they super messed up, you know, they gave it a pretty stupid shiny hunting gimmick. Because they made it to where you can only get an increased shiny chance on brilliant Pokemon, which appear at a maximum percent of 3% if you KO 500 of that type. So then you can only use the shiny hunting method on things that appear overworld. And then also, the maximum you can get is a 1 in 516 on something that appears 3% of the time, which essentially means nothing. Pretty bad shiny hunting method. But ultimately, the new shiny hunting methods with all these new games just make it way too easy anyways. Like in Scarlet and Violet, the fact that you can just whip up a sandwich and basically be guaranteed to get a shiny within like 15 minutes. It's kind of weak sauce. I think you're jealous of their hairstyles. You wish you were bold enough to rock a giant sword on your head. I still don't understand the point of those guys. Again, I wasn't really following the plot all that close. I guess they were just designed to look dumb as heck. I don't know. I don't know what they were. Were they like royalty or something? The only way that I know lore of these games is I'll sometimes just kind of put on a lore video in the background, or it'll explain to me the lore of the games. I would say Scarlet and Violet, I did like the plot of that one, with the weird time-traveling father thing and stuff like that. I thought it was actually not bad. I liked it. That'd be a super obscure Halloween costume if you dressed up as one of the dudes with the goofy hair. Nobody would know who the heck you were. They would just be like, here's some candy, I guess. You could leave and never come back. I'd say, I mean, I personally have liked all of the main series Pokemon games. I liked Legends Arceus, I liked Legends ZA. The thing I don't like the most about them is they made the shiny hunting in them quite a bit too easy. It's fine. Not that big a deal. It's a little disappointing because it's super easy. And people say like, oh, you could just not get the charm and you could not use outbreaks and you could blah blah blah, and it's like, sure. But I like utilizing all the things that are put into the game. And if that ultimately makes it redundant, then I feel like that's a design failure. You know what I mean? Call me crazy. But they just want to make things as accessible to the mainstream as possible. I guess part of that is making it so that people that aren't willing to do thousands of encounters can get their shiny. I think the best solution for that, though, is something like they did with Sword and Shield. In Sword and Shield, they made it to where if you wanted to get a super easy shiny, just get a foreign Ditto and breed for it. Boom, Masuda method, pretty easy shiny, there you go. But if you want to get a shiny that has a different sparkle type and can have a mark and all that kind of stuff, then you have to go in the wild for it, and that's cool. Part of the reason why those games were unintentionally very great shiny hunting games, in my opinion. I still have been super slacking on getting my stuff done in Gen 6, getting the national decks done, because it's such a daunting task between those two games. Oh my goodness. Eventually I'm going to do it, and then I want to mess around with the Poke Radar and the Dex Nav and all that, even though I've heard that shiny hunting through the Dex Nav is like horrendous. I still want to torture myself with it and chain fishing and all that fun stuff. I would like to experience it all. But I have to suck it up and actually complete the national decks in those games, which is gonna suck. And I could cheese it and just, you know, hack them in or trade for them or whatever, but I personally have like a challenge for myself I do in every game, where if that Pokemon is available in that copy of the game, I'm gonna get it in that game, even if I have it in my Pokemon home and I can transfer it in and complete the Pokedex. I'm like, no. I want to have to go get a 1% Fetus or whatever it is, you know? Part of the experience. Part of the experience. I'm starting to think I'm not going to get a shiny today. Oh no. I need to look at that video again to see what it looks like when you have a mark or whatever. I've probably seen that many times and not noticed it. Not that I really care, because unless it's got the sparkles coming out of it, I don't really care. But it's cool just to be like, oh well, there's a couple marks. Don't care. I think it's cool that they even included that, though. That they transferred over to make sure that marks were even like a thing, even with recruited Pokemon. I think that's a cool layer of detail. Because they could have just only had it to where there'd be marks if you transferred one in from a previous game that had marks. But putting marks randomly on recruited ones, putting rare balls randomly on recruiting ones, putting shinies on randomly on recruited ones. That's the kind of thoughtful depth that I like in those kinds of games. I appreciate it. But yeah, I think I'm probably going to be wrapping it up on the low. I don't know if you're still there or if you went to go thirst after the director or whatever his name is. I don't think you're probably attracted to anybody in BDSP since they all look like children. I would hope that's not the case. I guess not when they're in the battle though, huh? I got the full-size model there. But yeah. I'm gonna be wrapping it up here in a minute. I don't know when I'll decide to do it. It's gonna be arbitrary. Based on nothing but vibes. Now if I get a shiny, I catch it, That'll be a pretty clear indicator. I can wrap it up then. Outside of that, we'll play it later. Come on, give me that shiny. I want. Put it in a box forever and never think about it again. Imprison it in a computer. Never let it see the light of day. That's what I want. Call me masochistic. Call me psychopathic. The decency to shine, my. Alright, this is the time, you guys. Mark my word. I don't know how I know, it's just something that I know, you know what I'm saying? I was wrong. Weird. Alright, we're gonna do 5 more encounters. And we're gonna dip out. Go have some dinner. Chill. Till the next episode. Encounter number 1. Juan. And not shy. Who knew? Now for encounter number. Dude, we're gonna have no good stream highlights for quite a while because we're never getting the shiny. There's nothing to highlight because it's just us smacking the TV over and over. Encounter number 2. Encounter number 3. Let's go. Was not shiny. Will number 4. I don't know. Awesome. Let us see. Well, what do you know? It isn't shiny. Alright, it's the last encounter. Gonna end. Now or never, string. Give me that. Got to be right. Meow. Right, meow. Right, yeah. The moment of truth. Unfortunately, it's not today. But hey, I had fun hanging out with you guys. I'll see you on the next stream. We got Rumble set up. Unfortunately, not as smooth as I wanted it to go, but it's all good. All good. I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.